doesn't mean we know everything about ionic and covalent. And what we're going to work on in this unit, and this is all we are going to do this unit, is working on naming these compounds. So today I'm going to teach you how to name covalent compounds because you'll see that they are super simple. So naming covalent compounds. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, totally. Move it down a whole lot. Naming covalent compounds. Now, just as a review real quick, covalent compounds, do they have metals, nonmetals? What's their story? Okay, so only nonmetals. So maybe off to the side by covalent, we should write down that these have only nonmetals. Made of only nonmetals. And we know where nonmetals are on the periodic table, right? Literally the right side. That's right. So you're right, they're on the right side of the periodic table. Now I'm going to go over some simple rules for naming. So here they are. These are the rules for naming covalent compounds. Rule number 1 is that you always list the most metallic nonmetal first. Now it seems kind of ambiguous because the first, or list the most metallic nonmetal, list the most metallic nonmetal. But this simply means the first nonmetal listed should be the one furthest to the left. So you list the nonmetal that is furthest to the left first. The second nonmetal should have an IDE and IDE ending. And the other rule we need to go over, pretty simple and straightforward rule, is we need to go over how you are supposed to use the prefixes to count the number of each element. And let's go over those prefixes real quick. A lot of these are from geometry, so you've seen some of these before. These are the prefixes. Okay, awesome. So there's your prefixes, right? So let me show you how to do this. I want to go through some examples. And we'll have to write the formula and we will have to write the name. So here's some examples, and I'll have you write down these. If you'll write down these examples, I'm giving you the name in this case, and I'm going to ask you to draw out or to write out the formula. So in this case, you're going from the name to the formula. And remember, we're going to use our prefixes to help us out with this. Carbon dioxide. Do you see a prefix in front of carbon? You never put a prefix in front of the first nonmetal. I hope you're all listening. You never put a prefix in front of the first nonmetal unless there's more than one. But since there's no prefix, that you make the assumption there's only one carbon. Dioxide. What does di mean? What's that the prefix of? 2. So there must be 2 oxygens, so CO2. How about sulfur trifluoride? How many sulfurs do you think there is? There's 1 sulfur. How many fluorines? 3. SF3. Dinitrogen. N2. Pentoxide. O5. I'll let you work on these last 2 real quick, and then we'll check them. My needed product table. Chlorine is Cl and Br for bromine. How many bromines do we see here? What does it say? Dibromide, right? How many bromines do you think that would be? So Cl, Br2. Triphosphorus, that's 3 phosphorus. Heptasulfide, that's 7 sulfurs. P3S7. Good? For the first one, it's CO, right? How many carbons does it have? Just 1, so we should just name it carbon. And how many oxygens are there? So that would be monoxide, because you want to put that 1 prefix on the second one, never on the first one though. How about H2O? How many hydrogens do we see? So that would be how many hydrogens? Dihydrogen. And how many oxygens? 1. So monoxide. How about sulfurs? How many sulfurs do we see? So sulfur hexafluoride. So you see we're using those prefixes all the time. I'll let you solve the last 2 real quick, and then we'll summarize everything. So for the N2O5, you should have written down dinitrogen pentasulfide. And then this would be heptaphosphorus. Deck oxide. You'll notice that in any of those cases, we're always ending with that IDE ending on the second nonmetal each time. We're using our prefixes on the second nonmetal each time. Do we always have a prefix on the first nonmetal? No. When do we leave off a prefix on the first nonmetal? It's only one. And we did that.